Good morning, Malacañang Press Corps. Welcome to the press briefing of Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Good morning. This morning we are fortunate to have, for our first press briefing for 2017, one of the President's economic managers, Dr. Benjamin Diokno. He is the current Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management. He is also in his third tour of duty as Budget Secretary, which intends to pursue an expansionary fiscal policy to finance investments in human capital development and public infrastructure. In addition, he seeks for the passage of a budget reform bill to ensure the compliance of future budgets with the pertinent laws of the land. He also aims to reorganize and professionalize the bureaucracy with the Government Right-Sizing Act. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome DBM Secretary Benjamin Diokno.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year. The way I see it, if the Duterte government wants to have a growth rate of 7% sustained, he needs to do 5 things at least. Of course, the peace and order is a precondition to growth, so that's a given. Second, we really need to address our infrastructure gap. We have the worst infrastructure in this part of the world, okay? Second, our biggest asset, I think, is our youth. But that's both an asset and a liability, okay? If we don't convert the youth into a productive, agile, healthy workforce, then we failed, right? So we need to invest in the human resources. Third, we need to cut the cost of doing business. We're ranked very low in that regard. And if we want to attract foreign investors, we need to do that. Fourth, we need to, what's the fourth one? Lima na ba? Precondition is peace and order, and then you have infra, you have human resource, investment human resource, cut the cost of doing business. And then the fourth one is we have to have a competitive tax system. Our tax system compares poorly with our neighbors, okay? We're lucky that we belong to what I call the fastest growing region in the world, which is Asia, okay, and Southeast Asia. So if we manage to grow at 7%, we become the fastest growing country in the fastest growing region in the world. And that's an honor, right? And that would be an accomplishment, right? So our 2017 budget is a down payment for that desire. So for example, if you look at the 2017 budget, 5.4% of GDP will go to public infrastructure. That has never been done before in the history of the country. And we intend to ramp it up so that by the end of on the final year of President Duterte, that will be something like 7.2, 7.4% of GDP. So I reckon that we should be spending something like 8 to 9 trillion pesos, okay? 8 to 9 trillion pesos for public infrastructure. This is over and above what we're spending for PPP projects, okay? So that's consistent with the President's build, 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 okay? So unlike before, unlike my previous tour of duties at DBM, where I just sit on the desk, to wait for the budget request, now I'm actively seeking for good projects all over the country, okay? Palawan, Bohol, Albay, Siargao, right? So we're looking for those projects. We're planning to link, for example, Matnog to Southern Leyte, right? Or Leyte, and then later maybe this is an ambitious project. Maybe link up later with Mindanao, right? So you can now travel by car from Luzon to Mindanao, okay? That's an ambitious project. And I think we can finance it if we just put our mind to it. Okay. So I'll stop there and answer questions you may want to ask.
Yes, MPC, questions? JP, the birthday boy.
Happy
You have
birthday.
question?
Sinong birthday boy?
Microphone, please.
Shaba. Yes.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, can we discuss yung kung meron ba talaga, sir, increase on pay of soldiers and policemen as confirmed by some cabinet secretaries also, sir?
Yeah, there will be. We are now on our second tranche of a fourth tranche salary adjustment. Okay, as you know, we gave the salary increase last year. There will be another round of salary increase this year, both for civilian and military and policemen. All right, but last year we even increased the combat pay of soldiers. I think there's a 200% increase. I think before the end of the day, I will distribute to you what a typical soldier or first lieutenant and will receive, no? Given all the benefits. Okay, and the way I see it, as far as the military is concerned, we would be able to comply with the desire of the president to double their take-home pay by January of 2018. Okay, sooner if we pass the tax reform, because tax reform would mean reducing the personal income tax rate from a maximum of 32% to 25%. So in fact your take-home pay will, and that's good for all of you also, right? Your take-home pay will increase if we reduce that take-home pay from 32 to 25%, and we will increase the deductions. All right, so at the latest January 2018, and most likely sometime next year. Okay, given the tax reform.
Okay, Ann Nichols, about pay hike.
Hi, good morning, sir. Sir, so just to clarify, our policemen have already been given a pay hike since last year, but you're still increasing it until now.
Well, they're part of the fourth trans system that we are implementing. Okay, but let me say this, that this would require congressional approval. Okay, we are the bill seeking salary adjustment requires congressional approval, and we're ready. I have actually submitted to the Office of the President a copy of the bill, and this would only require joint resolution from both the Senate and the House. And going by the behavior of Congress, they won't object to a salary increase, okay? Because it's a popular move. Tax is more difficult, right? But when you're giving away, you can bet Congress will agree to provide that. Okay.
Marlon Ramos.
Good morning, Secretary.
Good morning.
So it's yung salary increase, the incremental increase, that part of the SSL signed by the previous administration.
The previous administration had a down payment, 2016. We are going to honor it, and in fact, but you know, there's a maybe a legal defect because it did not go through Congress. It's just incorporated in the budget. But the 2017, there's already an allocation in the 2017 budget for a salary increase, second tranche. But we will go to Congress and ask for authority.
May we know how much you
I will. And right now I don't have it, but before the end of the day, I think you'll get a copy.
Sir, I think one of the issues there is how to fund the pension pay of retired soldiers and
That's
police.
a good issue, right? As you know, during the time of President Ramos, he had this law which says that the pension of the military is tied to the salary of the incumbent, okay? And you know how the longevity of the soldiers, right? They look at President Ramos still around, right? So you retire at 50, and then you receive pension for the next 40 years. That's tremendous. That's significant. So that unless we fix that, there will come a time when maybe 70% of the budget of the military will just go to the pension. Okay, so that's part of the total solution that we are looking for. That maybe there should be a difference between those who will enter at a given date and those who are already in the system, because we don't intend to take away the privilege of those who are in the system, right? So that's been done before internationally. That's been done. So that is part of the solution.
Do you intend to come up with a legislation to
That requires legislation. Okay.
to just limit, or
So there will be
how do you intend to
there will
go
be
about
two
it?
types of salary structure for the military. Those who will come in after a certain date, and those who are already inside, right? So that will be the kind of legislation that we have in mind.
So may cut off.
May cut
cut
off.
off.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Marlon.
Fair
So
na yun, di ba? Fair na yun. Kasi once you give out incentives, you can take them away. Di ba?
Okay, thank you, Marlon. Sweden Velado, to be followed by Laila.
Good morning, Secretary. Sir,
morning.
I understand, well, we're working on the fourth tranche of the salary.
Third.
Third
No,
tranche.
that second is already in the budget,
Mhm.
2017.
Sir, mararamdaman na po ba yun ngayon? Will it be added to their salary already this
Effective
year?
January 1st yan. Yung ano.
How much, sir?
I said I don't have the details, okay?
Okay. But, sir, the President has mentioned in his previous speeches that after the salary hike for cops and military men, teachers and nurses will follow. Matutuloy pa po ba yun, Secretary?
They are part of the salary standardization. They are part of this tranches, okay? But it does not mean that we will double their salary, because right now the pay of public school teachers are much higher than the pay of private school teachers, 2-to-1, okay? That's the fact, okay? 2-to-1, based on a survey, okay? So it would be inappropriate for us to tax the general public just to double the salary of teachers, when in fact their pay right now is already more than competitive, okay? But they are all civilian and military employees are part of the salary standardization.
Thank you, Sweden. Laila.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I understand you're one of the economic managers who has concerns about the 2000 SSS pension
Mhm.
hike. Sir, do you have an alternative proposal for the pensioners to enjoy an increase without putting the SSS in danger?
You know, to give you a historical perspective, even during the time of President Marcos, he did not touch SSS, okay? Because it is a private pension fund. You contribute to that fund, okay? And when you retire, you get benefits from that fund, okay? So given that perspective, I don't think it is fair to say use the taxpayers' money to subsidize the benefits of the pension members, the SSS members, right? So if there's any solution, I think they should find it within the system. And what we are proposing is a salary contribution adjustment, a higher pay. But we're not recommending it right now. What we're recommending is maybe do it after the tax reform, which means because of the tax reform, you got more money in your pockets, and therefore you are now in a position to contribute a small amount for the pension of those who are already receiving pension. So that's our solution. It is to me unfair for us to call on everybody to give to increase the pension of a few. Okay, you know, our tax system is such that even the jobless, those who don't have jobs, they pay taxes, value-added tax, right? So why should you burden them to give benefits to a private pension system? Okay, so if I'm asked, that's my position. Okay.
Sir, I understand from reports the president is set to meet you to discuss the SSS.
No, we
pension.
already have a position paper. We signed it, the three of us.
I think the
Okay.
resolution is with him. Are you going to recommend that he veto it? Or?
No. To me, it's unfair to give the problem to him. In fact, it's unfair for Congress to have passed that law, which, as you know, President Aquino vetoed. No? It should not have reached the president's desk. The Board of Trustees should exercise leadership and say, no, we cannot do it unless we do the following things. Okay, and there are many things, like they can increase the collection efficiency. I understand some corporations are heavily indebted to SSS. Maybe they could call on them, right? But you know, when you pass the buck, and give it to the president, that to me is unfair for the president. Okay.
May follow-up question sa SSS, Ace Romero, and then Cedric. SSS.
Secretary, but now it's with the president now. We can't do anything right now. So what should he do right now?
Well, he could give it back to the SSS, Board of Trustees, come up with a solution. Okay.
Not necessarily a veto or...
He doesn't have to veto. No.
So he just has
It's not
to-
a bill.
It's not a bill, it's just a resolution.
It's I think it's a memorandum.
Memorandum.
Well,
So he
memo.
can give it back to the
He can
SSS.
give it back and say, looks, I appointed you there to solve the problem. Okay, come up with a solution.
So you suggest that he does that.
I don't know. I mean, that's if I were the president, I would do that. Okay,
Thank
I
you.
appointed you there specifically to come up with a solution. You manage a private fund. Okay, manage a private fund.
Thank you, Secretary.
Cedric?
Sir, I think you mentioned this already, pero i-follow ko na rin, sir. So you agree, sir, yung ibang recommendations or suggestions to reform yung collection, yung cuts on
Sure.
bonuses?
There are many things that you can do, right? I sympathize with pension funds right now. As you know, the interest rates are so low, right? It's difficult to make money, right? Can you imagine? Many years ago, the interest rate was around 10%, right? Now, the interest rates will be around maybe 3-4%. It's difficult to make money. So they have to maybe economize, they have to be prudent, etc. I think, all right, I think I've said enough.
Pwede na
on
ba, sir, pwede na ba mag-other matter? ma'am?
Sure.
SSS muna tayo. Henry Uri, to be followed by JP. Henry. Thank you.
Secretary, good morning. Another topic lang, yung sa Senator Lacson keep on saying that there is still pork barrel. If I may ask, ano ho ba ito? Paano ba ninyo ito sinasagot? And then, pangalawang tanong ho, sa 2017 budget, I saw that we have still unprogrammed funds, which was the subject of the criticism of the past. Para saan din po yung unprogrammed funds, Secretary?
Well, let me answer the second question. Unprogrammed funds are there to cover some eventuality. Like, for example, if you have a loan which is almost complete, but it's not in yet, then you can put some appropriations there. And you can use only the unprogrammed fund, which is in the nature of a standby allocation, if you have more money than what you originally anticipated. Okay? Now, on the second question, is there a pork barrel? You know, the Supreme Court is very clear. The definition of that is that congressmen and senators meddle with the implementation of projects. In other words, they would have, as if they have a right to a chunk of money in the budget. Let's say merong 200 billion doon, sila yung mag-identify. That's not allowed. And that's not in the in this budget. As you know, I'm one of the petitioners against DAP and PDAF, okay? So as I said, this budget and future budgets will be compliant with the two Supreme Court decisions. Okay, that's why I have also filed a budget reform bill, so that after us, maybe the next president or next presidents will try to honor the Supreme Court decision. Okay.
Thank you,
All right,
Henry.
thank
My
you.
apologies, Cedric.
Sir, on ASEAN hosting, sir, there are reports that apparently there was a shortcut on the bidding process of the 2.8 billion ASEAN hosting deal, sir. Your reaction, sir?
Thank you. You asked that question. Again, before the end of the day, I'll give you the details of that. Right, it's being typed right now. You know, ASEAN is this year, so we have to act with dispatch, right? And there's a part of the project, a project which is a part of the 15 billion allocation for that has been bidded out, but we complied with all these steps. Okay. Now only one bidder submitted a bid. This is the same bidder who won the right to provide a service in the 2015 APEC. Now, Ian did not even submit a bid. So I'm surprised that he's now complaining. And he cannot really comply with, because the kind of services that he is providing is very limited. The total budget for that service that was bid out was 2.9 billion. 2.9 billion. You know how much the winning bidder bid? 1 billion. Ayaw pa ba natin yun? 2.9 nga yung estimate ni Ambassador Paynor. Ito nagbid siya ng 1 billion. And the same bid that he submitted 2 years ago because of the APEC. So talagang hindi ko maintindihan bakit why the press gave him the space, no? Nagkataon pa naman, holiday, wala akong matawagang opisina, sarado opisina namin. So it's really a hassle. No? Hindi nga sa qualified magbid. Eh. And in fact, he did not bid. All right?
Sir, yung only one bidder, wala pong irregularity sa ganun, sir?
O walang bid. If there's one qualifying bid, that's valid. Hindi failure yan.
So the final price is 2.8, yung project?
No, the estimate is 2.9.
Okay.
2.88. Ang bid nung nanalo is 1.
Okay.
So sabi ko ngayon, bigay nyo na. Bigay nyo na. Kaya lang pala sila hindi nila binigay kasi naantay nila yung 2016 budget. And which is effective today. No? So sabi ko, bigay nyo na. Ignore that Ian complaint. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
JP?
Hi, sir. Sir, follow up lang dun sa ASEAN question. Sir, the company was some kind of insinuating na the reason why the process was shortcutted kasi daw po goods yun dineclare na PBD, Philippine Bid Document sa PhilJeps, when it should be categorized as consulting services which would take a longer time period, sir. What's your reaction
Actually,
to
it's
this?
a combination of goods plus technical. All right?
Yes,
Goods plus technical. Ang point nung Ion, which is a smaller company, is dapat break up into 5 para mag-qualify sa doon sa isa sa technical. Kasi ano naman yan is, parang party provider lang siya, di ba? Ganun. Ang may ayaw yung si Ambassador Paynor kasi he doesn't want to talk to 5 people, di ba? Isa lang dapat. So yun ang kasi kung i-break up mo yung a contract, you break it up into 5 small projects, magka-qualify yung iyon doon sa one of the 5. Sabi kasi we're running out of time already. Na yung schedule eh. Ngayon na, mangyayari na yan ngayon eh. There will be a meeting na sometime January. No? So there's really a sense of urgency. So sabi niya, we should just have one bidder. I want to talk to one person. So yun ang nangyari doon. Small company lang tong iyon eh.
Yes po.
Oo.
Sir, follow up lang dun po sa...
And there's a ruling by, the structure there's a GPPB. This is the General Procurement Board, which sets the policy. And there's the Procurement Service. The Procurement Service is the implementation arm. The GPPB is the policy board. No? And sabi ng policy board, mayroon na siyang decision. Pwede yun. Ganun.
Sir, last na lang po dun sa take-home pay. Yung specifics po dun, sir, yung increase is on the basic salary or allowances?
Combination.
Combination.
Okay, salary and because of that quirk na pag tinaas mo yung basic pay ng militar, taas lahat pati yung mga pensioners. Ayaw naman natin yun, di ba?
So mostly, sir, talaga.
But in the case of the soldiers and the policemen, combination yun.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Raymond Tenasa. Microphone. Cedric, pabot ng microphone. Thank you.
So going back lang dun sa SSS, kasi parang, please check me if I got the wrong feel from you, na parang sinabi niyo na hindi dapat bine-burden ang Pangulo with this pension. Pero ang lumalabas ngayon pati parang sa clamor, sentimiento is, naipangako kasi ng Pangulo mismo eh. So parang nandun lang gagaling. Yung parang panunumbat ng iba na naipangako mo. So parang ganun. So,
well, ako, hindi man ako politiko, but I know that there's President Duterte and there's President Duterte. Yung talagang iba yung candidate Duterte sa President Duterte. And you see that all over, even worldwide. Iba yung candidate Trump versus President Trump. No? May napapangako ka na pagka tingnan mo yung datos, hindi pala pwede. So yun doon ako nanggagaling. No? And that I'm just making a recommendation na historically hindi talaga ginagawa yun. You don't burden the taxpayers to support a private fund. Okay? Yun din.
kasi siguro din po, nandyan kayo para at least.
Kaya nga I mean, I'm just doing my job. No? Kung mag-decide siya na otherwise, I have done my job. Diba?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Benji Liwanag, last question.
Sir, good morning. On SSS. Sir, is one of your recommendations yung tanggalin na yung malalaking bonuses and perks na nakukuha ng mga boss na sa SSS? May kasama ho ba sa recommendation?
Hindi ko nire-recommend yun. Principle lang yun na don't use the taxpayers' money to support a private fund. Okay? Fund ho ninyo yun eh.
Yes,
Fund
yes,
ninyo.
yeah.
Okay? Why should you use the taxpayers' money? Knowing that there are some taxpayers na wala nga silang trabaho eh. Di ba? Alam mo ba yung sinasite ni, I think I overheard si congressman, the former congressman, no? Sinasabi niya, ito yung workforce, no? Hindi niya ba alam na 1/3 of the workforce are farmers and fisher folks? No? 1/3. So kung meron kang 40 million doon, 1/3 noon mga farmers. Ang hirap mangolekta doon, ha? And then, ang laking part din ng employed workforce, walang sweldo po. Ang nakalagay doon, unpaid family workers. Yun ang talagang datos eh. Pag nagtrabaho ka sa sari-sari store ng pamilya nyo, o kaya yung car wash business, wala ka naman sweldo eh. But under the law, under the statistics, employed ka. Kaya yung misnomer yung ganong na ang dami-dami namang workers eh, dapat nang olekta. Hindi to ganong kadali mangolekta. No? But kaya may board ang bawat GSIS, SSS, they should do their job. They should do their job.
Mahirap na pong mangolekta, but ang isa dun sa recommendation nyo, taasan yung sisingilin dun sa...
Yung mga formal workers po ito.
Formal workers,
formal workers,
like us.
Ang kasi noon, because of the tax reform, mangyayari niyan, you will have more money in your pockets. So, konting-konti lang naman yung i-increase sa inyo. Siguro naman ma-afford ninyo.
Tatanggalin po ba yung 20% discount dun sa mga senior?
Bago na yan, ha? Bagong issue yan. As far as the 20% on medicine, alam ko protektado ho yan. No? Protektado ho yan. And then, meron silang dinidevise na parang you have to discriminate between rich seniors and poor seniors. Meaning, kasi, di ba, meron hong privilege na 20% discount kung whether you're rich or poor, di ba? Sino ba naman nakaka-afford na magpupunta ka sa 5-star hotel na 20%, di ba? Mga ganun. So, ang gagawin na, tatargetin na ho yun. Na kung if you're poor, then you'll be given something like a CCT, yung conditional cash transfer. Cash talaga ibibigay sa inyo. In lieu of that privilege. No?
Thank you very much, sir.
Celerina, ito na daw yung last.
Pero ano po yun, ha? Hindi, it will be submitted to Congress. It's up to Congress to decide.
Celerina.
Sir, clarification lang. You have mentioned na ipapass if ever dun sa board ng SSS. Pero hindi ba ang effect ng joint resolution, it's like a bill na pag pag hindi inakta ng president, it would lapse into law within 30 days, after 30 days.
Ano po yan? Ano
Yung
yung,
joint resolutions ng SS para sa SSS hike po.
sino nagpasa ng joint resolution?
It's the lower house and the Senate po.
Tapos
that
na ho yun.
increase.
Tapos na ho yun eh.
Oho, pero di ba it's with the president already. So you have mentioned that
Hindi,
it will
ang
be passed to the
nakapresidente
board.
is a memo from the Board of Trustees of SSS. Wala pong joint resolution. Yung kay President Duterte,
Oho. Pero nasa na po yung joint resolution? Di ba yung memo nyo?
na-veto ho yun,
na-veto
na-veto ho ni Pinoy yun.
Yeah. No, that was a bill during the time of Pinoy. But under the Duterte administration, I believe it was, there was this joint resolution
Wala pong joint
pinas.
resolution na nakipresidente ngayon. Wala pong.
Pero sir, yung nasa press release ng DBM, no, not DBM, the DOF, it said, that was last week, it said that the recommendation to increase the contribution of the members was based on the joint resolutions of the Senate and the House of Representatives. And you were one of those who signed that memo.
I might be wrong. Hindi, alam ko walang joint resolution. Kasi pinag-uusapan pa yun hanggang ngayon sa Congress.
Okay, thank you. Ace Romero. Last na talaga. Okay na? No more. Okay. Thank you, MPC. Thank you, Secretary Benjamin Diokno.
Thank you.
Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Before we go to the Q&A, I'd just like to refer to a few matters. The magazine Yashu Shukan, according to Wilson Flores, the Time magazine of the Chinese-speaking world, has granted the president Person of the Year award. In sum, the press release says that the choice is based on Duterte's announcement of an independent foreign policy that consists of his distancing away from the U.S. and forging closer ties with China. The article also praises Duterte's program of good governance and anti-corruption campaign as a reason for his popularity among the Filipinos. Yashu Shukan, Asia Weekly, is the world's only Chinese-language international affairs magazine. Its circulation is in several major markets: Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and Malaysia. Also, the Department of Health has provided 2 updates on firecracker-related injuries. The first update was from December 21, 2016 to January 1, 2017, with 350 cases. The second update was from December 21, 2016 to January 2, 2017, with 524 cases. Dr. Eric Taig used the whole period, while the inquiry used only figures as of January 2. Dr. Eric Taig and inquiry used different periods to compare the cases. We'll be open to a few questions.
Okay, questions, MPC? Ace or Celerina?
Sir, can you confirm report that there's this, yung economic managers natin will be going to China to follow up on the promises by the Chinese government?
Nothing official.
Okay.
Thank you.
Laina?
Sir, good morning. Sir, do you have an update on when the President will appoint the members of the committee that will study charter change?
Let me see. An executive order, number 10, has been signed on December 7, creating the consultative committee to review the 1987 composition. But the composition of the committee has yet to be announced. Okay. Yeah, so basically the EO has been accomplished, but not the members of the committee yet.
So, do you have an idea, sir, on when the members will be known? Is it the President that's going to handpick the members, or?
I don't know, but I suppose that will be discussed during the next cabinet meeting.
Okay. Cedric?
Sir, can I just get your reaction, sir, on the inquirer's report that the government may have spoken too soon about, sir, it's a firecracker incident, sir, that it's apparently now increasing yung cases, sir.
Okay, as I just read, would you like me to read it again? Okay. Basically, it just says that there were 2 reports, okay? That there were 2 updates, okay? So the inquiry used the December 21 to January 2 update and compared it with the figures of December 21 to January 2. In other words, there were 2 updates. They came in installments. So basically, that was it. That there were 2 installments, and but however, the cases were 40% lower than the same period last year.
May follow-up sa firecracker
Yes.
incidents? Oh.
Good morning, Secretary. Happy New
Yes.
Year po.
Happy New Year.
Sir, are you aware if the President has been briefed regarding the incidents of stray bullets, particularly in Caloocan, where a 15-year-old girl was, 15-year-old girl fell victim to stray bullet incident?
I'm sure he has been briefed of that. I don't know specifically if and when. However, we don't have the responses yet from the President.
Okay. Sir, does Malacañang really believe that the President's tough stance against the use of firecrackers during the New Year's Eve revelries is one of the main reasons why the injuries, firecracker-related injuries went down?
Went down. Oh, I suppose the fact that there were stricter laws, there was his stance was stricter, apparently contributed to the fact that there were lower incidents.
And even before he actually signs an EO regarding the prohibition on the use of firecrackers.
I suppose the way Asians think, and Filipinos specifically, the law and the man seem to merge, in that sense that they listen to what the President is saying, and that of course the EO will be signed, will be considered, but yes, the people do listen to the President.
Sir, just another matter. Secretary Andanar mentioned that there are now about 1 million Filipinos, 1 million surrenderers dito sa Oplan Tokhang ng
Alright.
PNP. Sir, are you aware how many of those 1 million surrenderers are now actually in rehabilitation centers?
We don't have the actual diagnostics, but again, let us bring us back to the algorithm provided by DOH, that 90% are experiential users, 9% are heavy users, and 1% are hardcore users. The 90% usually are involved in community-based rehabilitation programs or activities, while the 9% basically is the 1% that's now in actual rehab centers. Not rehab center, the specific, like for example, the one in Fort Magsaysay. And the heavy users also engaged in some form of rehab.
Sir, does the government intend to issue a policy on it? I mean, a written policy on how to deal with the surrenderers? Because as we speak now, those drug personalities who surrender to the police are not required or are not forced to enter a rehabilitation facility.
Simply for the plain and simple reason that they cannot all be accommodated. Can you imagine 1 million people? This was actually unanticipated. So at best, what they call the mega rehab center can only accommodate 10,000. Yeah. So and well, of course, they're building. The big businesses helping out. I mean, they're proposing also building in Mindanao and in Visayas here. But that's only what? If it does another 10,000, that would only be 30,000. But that would be of great help already.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Raymond Tinasa?
Sir, yung may mga panawagan kasi yung pamilya nung nag-capsize na MV Starlight sa Batangas. Kasi parang mayroon silang concern na parang medyo mabagal daw para sa kanila yung rescue operations sa 18 na missing. Karamihan ito mga Ilonggo. So I understand they are listening right now. Siguro assurance from your end. Kasi parang medyo may pagpabaya o may feel sila ng pagpabaya sa kanila ng management ng Starlight o parang nababagalan sila dun sa pagresponde nila sa kanilang mga kaanak na missing ngayon, sir.
Well, regarding Starlight, we cannot answer for them, no. But regarding the position of the government, the government is basically pro poor. So they understand. The government understands the situation and is looking after it, I'm sure, through the proper agencies.
At kung lalo may mga circumstansya na parang sinisisi nga yung kapitan ng nag-capsize na barko. So kung may pananagutan yung may-ari or even yung MV Starlight ay yung gobyerno ay nakanda na tutulungan kung sakali maghabol yung mga naging biktima nito.
Well, I'm sure, but everything has to undergo due process.
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Raymond. And follow-up or Nichols?
Hi, sir. Just a follow-up on the firecracker issue. Is there a timeline on the EO for the total ban? Can we expect it maybe in the first quarter or by mid-year?
I cannot give you the actual date. However, part of the concern of the president is that even those who are in the firecracker industry must also not be just displaced, unfairly displaced. So, however, whatever the dates are going to be, I'm sure it's going to be for the benefit of all, protecting the children specifically, and also those who are engaged in the industry. Thank you.
Benji Liwanag?
Sir, good morning.
Yes.
With whom did the president spend his New Year?
I think that's private time.
Where? Is he with?
I don't. I don't
You know.
know.
They-
He's
did
he's
he-
with family and friends.
Yeah, did he spend in Malacanang or in Davao or?
I think I'm not entirely sure, but I think he spent the latter part of the holidays here in Manila.
In Manila,
As far as
not in Cagayan de Oro.
I don't know.
Okay.
Would you
thank
know?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking, sir.
No, I don't know.
Thank you
Vance
very much.
Fernandez?
Sir,
Yes,
good
ma'am.
morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yung pong pangako po ng ating Pangulong Duterte regarding this sa mga matatandang mga prisoners na bibigyan daw ng clemency o pardon before the Christmas, pero hindi po natupad. Any reaction on this?
The next round of talks will be this month, actually. So it will have to be processed during that particular time. Thank you.
How about the ENDO that was promised before by the President during his campaign? Any reaction on this?
As far as I know, as I was talking with Secmon, he was saying that a new department order has already been issued and it's already with the president. Okay, and that this is going to be beneficial in many ways. There are certain preconditions that are there, but already the DO, which was signed by Sec Bello, is already with the president's office. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you, Vance. Cedric?
Sir, I forgot to greet you Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Sir, on West Philippine Sea, sir, on the possibility of joint exploration, sir, how do you, with China, how do you suppose, sir, how does the palace suppose we go about it, sir, having a joint exploration within the framework of the arbitral ruling, if in the first place, sir, China does not recognize the ruling, sir?
I can read you some of the news, but the basic challenge, according to Ambassador Santaramana, is how to do it. But basically, the agreements will, as far whatever explorations there will have to be done not country to country, but with business to business. Okay, so however, all of these things must be done within constitutional limitations or definitions. So. The president has also said that he is going to open talks with PROC, and that they will discuss it.
But sir, the arbitral ruling, sir, will be taken into consideration, sir. If
As far as the president is concerned, yes, definitely. He, like he said again and again, if you notice, he even uses a visual. He says he will stay within the parameters of the ruling.
Sir, kuha lang ako ng reaction ulit, sir. I think China confirms that they are conducting now drills in South, West Philippines and South China Sea. Yung kanilang lone aircraft carrier, sir. Does the palace have a take on this, sir?
We do not have an official statement regarding that matter.
Thank you, sir.
JP? Microphone.
Anything else?
JP and then
Otherwise,
Marlon, sir. Last two questions.
Hi,
from-
sir. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jamie.
Sir, can we get a parang advancer? What is the palace doing now in preparation for the January 15 launch of the Philippine chairmanship for ASEAN?
It's all under the auspices of the DFA, and Ambassador Painor, I believe, is supervising that.
Pero sir, what can we expect in the Philippine hosting?
What can we expect in the Philippine hosting? Well, we don't have specifics, if that's what you're asking. But we can always count on, the Philippines has always come up with something extraordinarily creative and amazing.
Sir, on another topic lang po, yung the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, it's a group allied with the president. They're somehow concerned about the collateral damage
Yes.
that was being as a result of the drug war of the president.
Yes.
Sir, what are we doing about this collateral damage? Have we instructed the police on anything, sir?
Again and again, the president will say that from day one, that's part of their training, to minimize that damage, to make sure that everything is done with regularity. So if you're asking, are we doing anything, it's already being done. It's assumed, actually. It's part of the police operations, that they know that they're supposed to do things with regularity. Thank you.
Thank you. Last question, Marlon.
relation to JP's question din.
Yes, sir.
Senator Lacson has suggested for the government to compensate, make available funds for the victims, unintended victims of
Yes.
the government's anti-drug campaign.
I'm sure it's going to. If it's not, it's either going to be done in the level of on the agency's level, or it may be an issue that will be discussed during the cabinet meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marlon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Back to our main studio sa Radyo ng
Happy New
Bayan
Year.
at PTB4. Happy New Year, sir.